Beat Productions presents The Jon Hammond Show. And now, here's your host, the star of the show, Jon Hammond.
Thank you very much. Welcome to The Jon Hammond Show. We have many fascinating, beautiful things we're going to lay on you here this evening.
This is the Hammond Report for Saturday, December 11th of 2021. This is Jon Hammond, the organ player and accordionist. I want to thank everybody and anybody who's tuned in here for joining me once again for some more of my music and stories. This is a clip of me playing with some great musicians in Moscow, Russia. That's Igor Butman on tenor saxophone. On the drums, standing by, waiting to join us as we start this tune. Easy Living. That's Edwin Zizek. Yeah, love this tune. And yours truly, Jon Hammond at the organ. And I just heard back from a man that I met over in Moscow when I was there. And he is the former American ambassador to Russia, Alexander Vershbow. Also was the ambassador to South Korea, and he served in the ambassador services for a long time. And I saw him on Amanpour TV show, and he was at our gig, and I met him. He's actually an excellent drummer, and he sat in with Igor's band once a week when he was living over in Moscow. I met some interesting people while I was over there. I stay in touch with some of them. And I hope everybody's doing okay out there. Sort of getting better and getting worse at the same time. We have to see what happens, you know. But for sure, people got to be careful and keep wearing their masks and vaccinating up. They just issued an indoor mandatory masking thing in New York. So, you know, gotta follow the advice of the professionals. They know what they're talking about. And we could stamp this thing out. Yeah. I did a little bit of traveling recently, and got some gigs coming up for the holidays. sometimes 2 a day. Very sorry to hear about 2 passings yesterday. My friend Denise Perrier, excellent jazz vocalist, a good friend of mine, and of course Michael Nesmith, original monkey from the Monkees.
I went back from my grandmother.
And here I am with Harold
that's good.
Channer.
Russia, they got all this coming over the Voice of America and other things.
And
And
missing
well, it's
Harold.
a global village.
Right.
This was on
Everything's
his
blending
TV
and everything,
show.
and we could learn some things from there.
Harold
I've heard
is the
some
only
stuff
guy
out
who's
of
been on
African
cable
places, Guinea and stuff that
access
was
TV
really
longer
good,
than me.
and that kind of thing. It ought to be going all
I always
the
say
way.
the world is shrinking through technology.
Yeah,
every day.
and that's a good thing, no?
We'll
You
be
think it's a
missing
good?
him
It's
now.
a good thing.
I
It's
think
got,
it's
it's good and bad, you know.
Converse-
I think it's
Conversations
a
with
beautiful
Harold
thing.
Channer.
There's,
So
of
I
course,
have
there's some
you
downsides
listen
to
to
it,
a
but in
little
the
bit
long
of
run,
that,
it's got to be
folks.
great to bring
The
access
great
to
Harold
information
Channer.
to the
Harold
people,
Hudson
so,
Channer.
so they don't think the world is flat or something.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Tom Friedman wrote that book
Right.
saying everything is flat. But it's interesting. I had it the other day, and New York is a great place. I love New York City, and there's like 192 nations in the United Nations, and there's sizable communities. I read somewhere recently of 189 of those communities in the New York City area.
Wow.
So I mean, everybody's here.
Yeah,
It's
this-
probably the most cosmopolitan or the most universal city in the history of the planet. And there's certain things, if you think about it, New York City. Do you like New York?
I love New York.
You like New York? Do you
love
like
New
San
York.
Francisco?
I love San Francisco.
What's the difference
too.
between
San
San Francisco
Francisco,
and
too.
New York? Are those the two places
Well,
that are
coincidentally,
they?
both places have large Russian communities. you
Is
know?
that right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
And my family originally, my father's side, we came from Hungary,
Uh-huh.
and my mother's side from Russia and Ukraine. You know?
Those Hungarians are real smart.
Yeah.
A lot of Nobel Prize
a lot
winners
of
out
them,
of
for some
Hungary.
reason, went into film directing and music. You know?
Really? Is that
Yeah.
right? Yeah, right.
For
yeah.
some reason, but I never went to Russia until this concert that I
Yeah,
played
yeah,
at.
yeah.
But it was funny when I got there. We got there, but the baggage didn't get there. 20 people on the airplane, British Airways, took off with our bags.
Oh,
you know?
dear.
And we found out that the luggage was headed to Poland. You know?
Not the first
Yeah, it's a
time
good
that's
thing we
happened.
came a
yeah.
couple days earlier.
Yeah.
We got it on the
Baggage.
So how did you
Went
handle that? Did you
to
scream and
Poland.
yell,
No,
and
you
you
know-
just settle in and say,
I
"Well,
brought
it'll
these
get
roses from New York.
Yes,
I
all
brought,
right.
you know,
Uh-huh.
and they were starting to wilt.
Yeah,
because
uh-oh,
we had to go through London. By the time I got to Moscow, they were
Yeah.
getting pretty soft. you
Yeah,
know?
right,
But there
right.
was a couple of pretty firm ones. You know?
Yeah, right.
And there's one poor lady. She was handling what they call baggage irregularity. You know.
Uh-huh. You're in Moscow now?
Yeah. And some of these customers were so upset, you know, but like I know how it goes in the airlines,
Mm. right.
you know. So she couldn't really speak English, you know,
Uh-huh.
and they were yelling, shouting at
Yeah.
her, you know. And I came over to her and I gave her a couple of these roses that survived.
Melt. It just melts. You
And
see,
she was
it's
our
like
friend, you
music.
know.
It's like music.
And she told me
Yeah,
in this
yeah,
broken
right,
English,
right.
you
Yeah,
know,
that's
that
beautiful.
Your luggage went to
Ooh.
Poland.
Yeah,
you know.
okay, good. Isn't it good? Those are scenes like in a movie, right?
That's
It's
right,
so great.
folks.
The world's like a big movie. I think
Everybody
we're living in the
Beautiful.
have a
Then
beautiful
finally we came
weekend.
out of the customs, and there's a cat with a big Jon Hammond poster.
Yeah.
You know,
Join
so I
me
knew he
again
was our
tomorrow.
guy. He couldn't speak English
right,
either.
right,
you know.
right.
And every
So,
week.
but you know, but
Okay.
as far as loving New York, I love New York. It's so
MTV.
international.
Well,
Yeah,
New
I
York
had
loves
never
you,
heard
and
that
we, John, thanks for
Streaming
putting
all
it
over the
We're
world.
out of time. That's the hell of it.
Coming
Well,
down
it's,
Thanks a lot, man.
your pleasure.
to the
John
end
Hammond.
of our
Hey,
allotted
hey,
time
yeah,
here.
absolutely. More
Harold
conversation.
So you
Channer
know what that
conversations
means.
Yeah, it's so
rules,
good to
man.
see you again. We've been Carson based for so long.
Yeah,
I can
Your
only
pleasure to have the
say
perceptions of a legend
one
in public
more
access
thing.
and also in radio and so
You're
forth.
the man.
Congratulations
Thank
and
you
everything
so
on
much.
all your well-led life.
Thank you so much.
Tune in tomorrow. We'll be coming back
And
again
that
tomorrow.
is-
That's it, John. Thanks a lot for bringing all this
Thank
in.
you,
It's a great
Harold.
pleasure.
Bye,
And good
bye
luck with all
now.
that
Sure had
radio
fun
show.
with you. Thanks,
Yeah, it was
man.
fun being
Yeah,
here.
man.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. So it's so good to see you, John.
Hammond Report for Tuesday, December 14th of 2021. This is Jon Hammond, the organ player and accordionist. Thank you very much, folks, for joining me once again for some more of my music and stories. How's everybody doing out there? that whoever you are, you're okay. And I woke up this morning only to find that it was time for another update to the old computer. So it took a little while, and now I've got the Mac OS 12.1 Monterey, it's called. Yep, 12.1. It's all up to date. Took a couple days off because I had some gigs, and I'm at the organ here from a streaming gig. One of my favorite tunes here, playing for you today. And you know, folks, the Photos library has a really cool thing. As these computers get more intelligent and familiar with your ways, you know, you can utilize the AI, artificial intelligence. So you can just put in the search different things, and it'll pull up pictures that it thinks matches that search. So here's some pictures of mine from my current photo library. I just put in window. Look at all the things it comes up with. Pretty interesting. And yeah, I've been around the block a few times, and things starting to loosen up a little bit, but we're still not out of the woods. So I hope folks are being careful, masking up appropriately, and getting your vaccinations and boosters if you haven't done so. Get on down there and do it, because coming into the winter months, and you know it's going to be a big surge. Well, it looks like we're taking it home here. So I just want to say one last thing before I slide out of here today. That is, bye-bye now.
It's the Hammond Report for Wednesday, December 15th of 2021. This is Jon Hammond, the organ player and accordionist, and I'm back with my daily Hammond Report, going way back in the Jon Hammond archives today. I'm sitting here at my 1959 Hammond B3. There's some stuff from my cable TV show, Backbeat Productions, the Jon Hammond Show. This is a group I was the executive producer for, and is all about negative things, and the band is appropriately called The Negatives, going back to May 7th of 1989 at a wedding gig. And the cats flew out for their second only gig with Frank Gravis on the bass and vocals, Graham Hawthorne on the drums, and Barry Finnerty, aka Crazy Barry, on guitar and vocals. He wrote the tunes, or as he said, he did everything. And Lazy Larry on nothing, and his concept band. And we put out an EP on cassette, and it was successful in its own right. This is their introduction, The Negatives, and they got a tune called Not Now, and like the title says, we're not going to play it now. Instead, I'm going to skip to a tune called Pieces Strange. And the kids are going to tear up the flower arrangements, I guarantee that. Let's go there now. Okay, moving right along here. This tune's called Pieces Strange. It's also on the EP. There's a few rare copies out there. I'm an early bird this morning. I went over the Bay Bridge with the Hammond Acres. Nice to see everybody out on the road this morning. One guy had one of those new Toyota Supras. I had the very first Toyota Supra. They called it the Celica Supra. That was back in 1979. And this gig was a few years ago. Yeah, 1989, May 7th. Date that went down into infamy. I'm waiting for my main man to show up here. Do a little servicing to the mobile. And you see my Hammond B3 there, because I played a gig with Barry, and on the band we had Mark Baum, who I went to kindergarten with, and who else was on the band? Dave Danza and Annie Sampson. Here's Graham. You'll see Annie out there on the dance floor. I've been in touch with her. That guitar that Barry's playing is 1959 Gibson Les Paul. He got when we were back in high school. He no longer owns the guitar, unfortunately, but we know who has it. Never should have got rid of that guitar there, Barry. They don't call him Crazy Barry for nothing, you know. Yeah, well, actually that belonged to Adam Silver before Barry. And Adam cut a little slice out of the back. He contoured it. He customized it. And some other custom work was done on it, like the time he left it on the heater after a gig and melted the whole headstock. And the luthier that fixed it up did a nice job. There's Annie. How you doing, Annie? Well, there go the flowers. It looks like Craig made it on the dance floor. The notorious dancer, Craig. Yeah. Quite a lineup there. The young dancer on the bandstand is quite energetic. That was, how many years ago? Okay, we're going to take it home now. I just want to give you a little bit of Bernard Purdy and Chuggy Carter on a gig that we did at McHale's. It's from my cable TV show, Jon Hammond Show. And I want to say one last thing before I get out of here today, and that is, bye-bye now. Hammond Report for Thursday, December 16th of 2021. This is Jon Hammond, the organ player and accordionist. I'm back with my daily Hammond Report. Thank you very much, folks, for joining me once again for some more of my music and stories. This is a tune I call Melody Without Name. Playing some solo organ here for you. And it's appropriate because I'm sitting in the car right now, getting ready to go in and play a solo organ gig. And I got a little bit of time to kill here. I want to show you some pictures from a good friend of mine. We go way back, and he was very kind to send them over to me today from a band that we had in 1970. And we advertised in the Rolling Stone magazine for some auditions, and we got a really good band together. Sadly, some of the folks are no longer alive now. We took them up to Russian River one weekend, a really hot weekend, and I somehow scrounged up a gasoline-powered electric generator, and we played an outdoor concert to all the people who were there at the river cooling off. That was back in the days of people were running around naked, and it was the hippie times, no doubt about it. Sheba Coates was the vocalist, and we got her from a big-time band in Boston called Daddy Warbucks, and Danny Leventhal on bass, on electric bass, Fender bass with his Fender Showman. You can see it in one of the pictures. And yeah, Danny, I believe he took the photos. He definitely sent them over to me. I'm not sure who. I think Danny himself snapped a lot of the photos, but somebody must have taken a picture that he's in. Well, enjoy these folks. I gotta go in and play a gig now. I just want to say one last thing, that is, bye-bye now.
Soon I will be free.
Hammond Report for Saturday, December 18th of 2021. This is Jon Hammond, the organ player and accordionist. I'm back with my daily Hammond Report. Thank you very much, folks, for joining me once again for some more of my music and stories. Well, one more time around with these photos from my friend Danny Leventhal, old bandmate from 1970 at the Russian River. And the more I look at these pictures, I see some faded memories are coming back, and some of the folks are still with us and some are gone, unfortunately. My very first car I saw in one of the pictures, my 1965 Plymouth Valiant, and a good friend of mine who had his Dodge van, they're no longer with us, and his name is John, also Jon, like me, and that's him from the back right there, and that's me in front of Berkeley High School. There's a park we used to call Provo Park. We hang out there, and my band played there. And there we are, hanging out and talking like we always did back then. And these pictures, just the last hours and days, it's the Blob. Wavy Gravy's friend has that vehicle there, and went through the toll gate nice and early in the morning with the Hammond Acres. Across the Bay Bridge, plenty of cars. Past Tommy's Joint. I had so many plates of food at the Tommy's Joint, and I saw a Lucky Rainbow on Geary Boulevard. We all need some good luck. Here comes the San Francisco Fire Department with a nice wreath on the
fire engine there, shooting through the Robin Williams tunnel there. Nice Airstream trailer. And the Richmond Santa Fe Bridge, I've been over it many times. I had a gig in the Mission District. I got there early, so I cruised around, took some pictures of the Mission District, and I saw these self-driving test vehicles from Waymo, I think it was. Everybody loves a glazed donut, some Chinese fast food, and get a haircut there at Osbelius. Yeah. A lot of things happening in the Mission District in San Francisco. Well, I hope everybody is staying safe out there. It's a good time to stay inside and look at your old pictures. Thanks again to Danny Leventhal for coming up with these pictures. And he scanned them from his old black and white negatives. That's the thing to do these days, folks. There's several ways you can do it. And I have a lot of slides and negatives too that I'm going to be going through. Yeah. Played a nice gig. The folks sang great costumes, doing angel work. This is my tune called Soon I Will Be Free from my second album, Hammond's Bolero. So pick that up if you can. Yeah, I'm proud of all my records. Been fortunate to play with some great musicians all over the world. Come down the home stretch of 2021, folks. Everybody be careful out there, because we want to see you next year. Like I always say on the CB radio, we'd rather be talking to you than about you. This is Jon Hammond. I'll be back tomorrow. Tune in for the Hammond Report. Taking it home here. One last thing to say before I get out of here, and that is bye now. One last yo-yo trick here for you before I get out of here. Oh yeah. See ya.